Hi everyone, I'm K. Also, please don't mind that my voice might sound a little different. I got my booster shot yesterday and let's just say Pfizer got hands. Anyway, Fire Emblem Heroes has once again made a bad decision that I'm forced to come out of my hiatus, which is almost over by the way, I'll talk about that some other time, to make a video explaining how I feel and hopefully put things into perspective to help people who may be confused better understand what's going on and what to do with this information. So for those who don't know what's going down, first of all, I'm jealous. Secondly, last night Fire Emblem Heroes announced the new legendary hero, Legendary Byleth 2. It seems like people were pretty okay with Byleth, if not ambivalent, because oh my god, more free houses. But what happened after the banner reveal is really what got people talking, because after the trailer itself, it seems they snuck in the news that starting from this banner, you can now spark on legendary or mythic heroes banners, as long as you're subscribed to FayPass. It's worth noting that while not revealed in the trailer itself, the Twitter account also went forward stating that this feature would also be available for FayPass users for special heroes and double special heroes banners going forward as well. But not revivals or special heroes banners from the past because, well, fuck you. FayPass was already not well taken to by the player base at large, and the initial announcement of it resulted in a lot of backlash and of course the creation of the one-part gimmick account, other parts Seminole Freya simping simulator account cheaper than a year of FayPass, which sort of acts as a criticism on the investment of a year of FayPass while posting some banger memes on the side. I think it's needless to say that given the already controversial FayPass is the epicenter of this topic, people really didn't take to this one with a lot of fanfare or glee, especially seeing as most people have been asking for this feature for everyone to use for a very long time now, making this a sort of monkey's paw situation. This is undoubtedly the worst reaction I have ever seen to anything Fae related since Book 5 started, which is saying a lot because the past 12 months have brought their fair share of controversial components and maligned mechanics. My opinion on FayPass's current state leaves me on the fence, my favourite seat. While pretty standard quality of life features like auto-repeat that should be free and in certain games, like King of Fighters All-Star for example, are free, I really didn't mind it being featured on a subscription service. This mostly stems from my belief that most things FayPass provided were providing efficiency rather than making things objectively better. Besides Resplendent Attire, which is its own shebang really, Resplendent Eliwood, DNI. While quality of life really shouldn't be behind a paywall, in regards to a subscription service I'm mostly fine with it because subscription services primarily exist to give users willing to spend the extra quality of life, which makes the app or platform inherently more comfortable to use, like YouTube Premium allowing videos to continue to play when the app is suspended, or Twitter Blue having an undo button. Just press Ctrl Z! However, there's a thin line that subscription services tend to not cross, and that lies more in, how do I put this, improving the inherent focal feature or mechanic of an application. The reason behind this is probably to do with consumer goodwill, though I would argue no one likes Twitter in the first place. Speaking of inherent focal features or mechanics, I stated in a certain video on a certain fellow video essayist's channel, which I will link in the cards, that I firmly believe Fire Emblem Heroes' summoning is not a feature of the game, but rather its central mechanic. In that aspect, I think allowing people to pay to improve their experience over others is just kind of not fair. While a little luxury on top of the quality of life is fine, for some reason this exclusive spark just rubs me the wrong way. Okay, so the waters are really muddied here, so I totally understand if people think me quote-unquote being fine with one thing and quote-unquote not being fine with another seems kind of hypocritical in a vacuum. Basically, to me, this is the Heroes equivalent of if a fighting game paywalled something players really need in order to feel like the game better, like frame data or something. Oh fucking come on, Tekken! Ultimately, I think the evaluation of fairness is very much a grey area where one's mileage is bound to vary, and I think this situation is a nuanced one where there's no incorrect way to react. However you feel about the current developments in FayPass is, for all intents and purposes, an objectively reasonable way to feel as long as you're not going out of your way to harass people. Please don't fucking do that! For example, I see a lot of people vowing to unsubscribe from FayPass, and I think that's valid. It's your money. However, I'm not necessarily sure the vote of your wallets thing will really change IS's mind at this point. This is very much a tinfoil hat thing I'm about to get into, but I am almost fully convinced the reason this mechanical change exists at all is specifically because FayPass is not selling as intended. It may be selling well, but in a genre that thrives off of engagement, it's not keeping those players engaged, namely the ones who buy for one Resplendent hero and then dip immediately. In other words, I don't believe this change was made because Intelligent Systems wants people to subscribe to FaePass, but rather because it wants people to stay subscribed to FaePass. When you follow this narrative, more of the sudden decisions relating to FaePass start to make more sense, namely the addition of loyalty perks on top of the already existing perks. From the way I see it, FaePass is struggling to keep users consistently engaged, and the addition of exclusive sparks is a way to cultivate that engagement and keep it going even after people might have already technically lost interest because Resplendent S or whatever isn't complimentary with the initial purchase anymore. In that sense, that's why I don't really believe the Vote for Your Wallets route will have any effect here, because this feature existing kind of implies that they're already actively in need of more reasons to have people staying subscribed. And as such, I don't plan on unsubbing from FaePass, and I don't think players who want to keep FaePass should feel compelled to unsubscribe over this, just as long as they're willing to voice their discontent. Unsubbing out of protest is a valid way of protesting, don't get me wrong, but Intelligent Systems' response to a profit drop generally won't be, oh, we need to add less things to FaePass. If anything, it would have, and may well currently be having, the opposite effect to entice people to come back, or they would just sell more crazy ARP packs with lavish 5-star units for $75 or what have you. However, that's not me saying stay subscribed because it's lose-lose, because it's your goddamn money, do what you want with it. Plus, I don't really think it's a lose-lose situation despite what I may be implying. The best thing you can do to voice your discontent is to send feedback. Now, the pessimist here would say that IS won't listen to anyone who criticises their decision, but they've done so in the past, and even if they don't, we're still making our discontent widely known by greatly congesting the feedback form responses. Anyway, I've drawn on for long enough. I kinda did not expect to talk about it for this long, and now I'm worried that I won't even get this video out on time. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the FaePass Spark. If you don't agree with me, that's cool I guess, just don't be a dick about it. And if you like what I do, please check out my Twitter and Discord, and maybe subscribe to my channel if you want. Haha! Happy holidays, be excellent to each other.